Hello and welcome to this video in the Python tutorial video series. In this video we're going to talk more about numbers in Python, and we're gonna discover a new library or module, which is the math library. So basically, if we want to print a number in Python, we just print. It's very simple. We put print and we put that number. So for example, if we want to print 5, we just put 5 and here it is, and we can put floating point numbers and print them normally. Okay, and of course we can put negative numbers and any type of numbers. Also we have operators, so we have assignments. So for example 5.5 plus 2, which should be 7.5. And we have multiplications, divisions, and subtraction, of course. And we have also a module operator, which is a remainder operator, if you want, or it's actually a remainder operator. So basically, if we have 10 modulo 2, what this will do is we will divide 10 with 2 and then return the remainder. So basically, if we run this, it should return 0 because 10 is a multiple of 2. So basically, yes, it is 0. Let's say we have 11 here. So basically 11 over 2 will give a 5 plus a remainder of 1, and this will be returned here. The remainder will be returned here, and this is quite handy in many applications later on. We also have like in math at school, we have order of operations. Here also we have that. So basically, let's say we have 5 plus 2 times 10. So what the compiler will read this and handle it is as follows. First, he will check 5 plus, we have 2, and then we have multiplications. And as with the order of operations, we have multiplications and divisions as the high priority. Of course, the power has the high priority. Then comes the multiplication and the division, and then subtraction and addition. So here, first we will compute this, which is 20, and then we will add 5. Let's save it. And here it is, 25. Now let's say we want to compute this before the multiplication. We can urge a priority here by using a parenthesis, which is also as the math in school. So first here we have the high priority is always given to the parenthesis. So we have 7 times 10, which is 70. And here we go. Okay. Also, we can store variables. We can store numbers in a variable. So for example, let's say I want A is my number. Let's give it my number, for example, and let's say it's 5, and then we can print here my number, and this will print out 5. Okay, now what if we want this number to, or for example, if we want to add here a string, for example, is my number, this will give an error here. Okay, so this gives us an error, which is in Python, addition of an integer plus a string is not supported. So basically, this is a concatenation, but a concatenation needs to happen between 2 strings. So my number should be a string, and the other one is a string. So basically, before to make this happen, we need to do something called converting, or it's called casting, but you can think about it as we're converting a number, any number, to a string. And to do that, we use the function str, and we give it our number. So basically, this my number is a number, an integer here in our case, and it can be a float. For example, let's make it general float, and then we're using str to make it a string, and then we are concatenating this string with is my number. So basically, if we run this, we will get 5.5 is my number. And you need to do that every time you add a string to that number. You can't just like add a number to a string. Okay, now let's move forward to the math library, and we have a library or a module which is called math, which allows us to do some operations on numbers. And let's see a few of them. So we have first, I show you the most popular ones. We have the absolute value, which is ABS, and let's give it our number. Let's make this negative. So basically, absolute ABS will give you the absolute value of my number, and basically in math, absolute value is how far that number, how is that number far from 0, and this should be 5.5. 5.5. Okay, we have also power, and the power needs two parameters. And as mentioned previously, we will discuss functions and parameters later on in this tutorial, but for now it's just like a tool or an attribute for numbers, or you can manipulate numbers, you can do anything with numbers in that case. So we need to enter two parameters here. So first our number, and then the power, which is let's say 2, and let's make it simple. Let's put it 5 or 4, for example. Okay, so basically this will return 4 to the power of 2. So 4 to the power of 2, which is 16. Save, run, and yes, it's 16. And let's say 3 here. So we have my number here is our base, and 3 is the power. It would be 64. Okay, we have also min and max. So we have min between like 4 and 7, and it will return the minimum of these two numbers, which is 4, of course. Let's try max, and it should return 7. Also, we have something that is very, very helpful, which is the round function. And you give it a floating point number, let's say 8 or 4.8, and it will round it to the nearest integer. So in our case, it's 5 because 0.8 is greater than 5, so yeah. And if we give it like 2, it should return 4. These can be used without importing math. So you can use these functions and some others without importing the math library. But we have function to get access to all the numbers, the functions of the math module or library. We should import it. So we should import that library to our program. And to do that, in Python, we use this method. So from math, the name of the module, import star. Star means we need to import everything from math. We can just specify the parts we need to import, but if we want to import everything, we use just star. And let's try a few functions of that can't be accessed without importing the math module. For example, floor. So floor will round the number down, whatever the decimal point is. So for example, 4.9 will round it down to 4. And here it is. And we have the opposite of floor is sale, and 4.1, it will round it up always, 5. And we have also the square root, QRT, and let's say for 9, which should return 7. And yeah, the square root returns the number as a float. So yeah, now let's do a simple example here. So let's just get few numbers from the user, and let's say value equal input, and enter the value, and let's get an interest. So basically our program is gonna calculate the interest on that value. It's very simple. It's just multiplying both the value and the interest. Input the interest. And we're getting the interest from the user. And then we're just printing value times interest. Now if we run this will give us an error. Enter a value, for example 1, 2. This will give us an error because, as mentioned previously, input will return by default a string value. So yes, we entered a number 1, but it is interpreted as a string. To get rid of that problem, we need to cast our values. We can cast them here, or we can cast them here. Let's cast them here. And in general, the value can be floating point number. So let's cast it to a float. And now the program should work normally. So let's add 4.5, and the interest is 0.5. Yeah, so the added value will be, the added value will be 2.25. So that's it for this video. If you like the video and the content, please subscribe to our channel and give it a thumbs up. And I'll see you in the next video.